Hey guys, it's Maddie and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a 1 week update of being alcohol free. Really there's no big updates, but I just wanted to post this to keep myself accountable and to kind of give a recap of what the last week has looked like. I'm actually filming this on Wednesday, so on Monday it had been a week. And it was my first weekend sober in a very long time where I normally would have drank. We ended up going out kayaking with a couple of our friends on the Saturday. I guess to preface this, I didn't work on the weekend, and the weekends I work, I don't typically drink. So this past weekend was a real test because I didn't work, and when I don't work, that's when I will usually drink because it's more of like I got no plans, I have no commitments, I don't have anything going on that I need to be like functioning for. So on the Saturday, which was 420, we went out kayaking with a bunch of our friends and it was a lot of fun, but that friend group is one that drinks. And like, again, I want to preface this. When I'm talking about this kind of stuff, I'm not judging anyone. I'm just giving context to our situation or to my situation. But those friends drink and they were like, no one pressured me and no one in that group of friends questioned why I wasn't drinking or pressured me to have a drink. Like no one offered me one or made a big deal about it. Like quite frankly, I'm not even sure if anyone noticed I wasn't drinking. Because like I said, we were all like in our own separate kayaks. So we would like kind of meet together a bit, but then we'd also go on our own way. So it wasn't like we were just sitting around drinking where it would have been super obvious if I was the only one not drinking. So that made it a lot easier. So it was just kind of the pressure from myself being like, oh, I wish I could have a drink right now. Like, I wish I could get on the same level as everyone else. I wish I could partake in it. Like this would be the perfect opportunity to just paddle around on the river and have a couple drinks and just like let loose. And it wasn't a group of friends that I was super close with. So that leads to the perfect opportunity to have more drinks, to let loose, and to have like that social lubricant where it's more easy for me to start conversation. And situations like that, I really get in my own head and very hyper aware of conversations that are or aren't happening. And I put a lot of pressure on myself to fill the silence with, quite frankly, meaningless conversation. Or that's when I would get to the point of oversharing and saying stuff that I wish I didn't and having those regrets. So it was, bless you, a big learning curve for me being in a social environment and not being able to rely on the alcohol to carry me through. I had to do it myself. And also that night on Saturday, I did have to babysit my cousin's children. So I was like, I couldn't be in the bag. I couldn't be hungover. Like I could have had a couple drinks and been fine. But that was another reason to stay sober and why I was thankful that I did have a commitment at that night, because then I couldn't use the excuse of not having anything going on and I had something I needed to be there for and I couldn't back out on her. And Sunday came and it was actually the same cousin, her son's 1-year birthday. So it was kind of like a big family event where a lot of people were drinking, and that would have been another situation where I would have relied on alcohol to carry me through those conversations and to kind of have like common ground with people. But again, no one asked me why I wasn't drinking. No one offered me a drink. No one made a thing about it. It was just me that I didn't even make a thing about it, but it was just always in the back of my head. Like, oh, if I had a drink right now, I could go talk to those people or I would have an easier time starting conversation. Just a big what if. And it did feel like something was missing, just not having a drink in my hand and having that reassurance of having an alcoholic beverage. It's just a weird thing. You become very reliant on having something in your hand. So I brought a couple energy drinks, which I don't know if that's a great substitute, probably not. I also had my water bottle, so I was drinking a lot of water. But one thing I forgot to mention, when kayaking, one of the big benefits of not drinking while kayaking or while doing things is not having the need to pee every 15 to 20 minutes. Like I went that whole kayak ride without peeing, without having to pee. Like I wasn't torturing myself and like forcing myself to hold it in, but I didn't have to pee. And what a wonderful thing that is. It was great. And there was no hangovers, no regretting things I didn't say. The only thing I do struggle with is wishing I was more social or wishing I had said more. But I think that's something that I'll just kind of get used to and figure out the longer. Like this is practice for me. Like I have to practice being social without the alcohol now. But I didn't drink this weekend and I'm very proud of myself. Yeah, it'll be great. I am already like thinking ahead to the summer and like different events like weddings or concerts that I'm going to be going to, and already being nervous about doing those social interactions sober and being worried about being one of the few people not drinking and feeling out of place or that I'm missing out on stuff. But that's just me being anxious about something that hasn't even happened yet. That's not even going to happen within the next little bit. So I'm trying to just take it like one day at a time, one weekend at a time, one social event at a time. But I really enjoyed the feeling of being completely aware and in control of myself and being conscious in the decisions I was making, excuse me. But it was a really great feeling, and I watched this one video of Melanie Murphy, and I really hope I don't butcher this quote, but she said something along the lines of, not being hungover is a better feeling than being drunk. And I feel that 100%. I would take not being hungover over being drunk. I would rather be not hungover and completely sober and aware and feeling great than the brief fleeting feelings of being drunk. Anyways, that is it for this recap of week 1 of being alcohol free. I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.